Lost in the sand, I thought all the answers here would fall in my lap. The problem with asking is you just don't land where the floor won't bruise. Why do I have to choose? Is becoming a man and evading my past for years a similar act or a natural disaster? Cause I'm still not sure where my faith went loose. To win I have to lose. I keep on boarding up doors I should kick down. Stuck in this corner I stare at my screen. Who in the world's painting my bigger picture? As if it ever mattered to me, to me, to me. Somebody in the line just climb on out. We're in a situation going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm. But I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or the last? The truth is something that we could try to get past. In the long run, everyone gets out of the dark. But I don't wanna dance. In a whole different town, my only relationship's the one with the sound of my thoughts, and they're racing in a search for clues. So what's in store if I find them after all? Down for the count, but not the equation. I'm in the ocean of doubt, and my own expectations are all that drag me through. I'm a man at war with who I was when I left the shore. I keep on boarding up doors I should kick down. Stuck in this corner I stare at my screen. Who in the world's painting my bigger picture? As if it ever mattered to me, to me, to me. Somebody in the line just climb on out. We're in a situation going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm. But I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or the last? The truth is something that we could try to get past. In the long run, everyone gets out of the dark. But I don't wanna dance. Sometimes I wish that I was see-through, so everyone in this room wouldn't grab my arm when I don't wanna dance. Sometimes I can't find the words when you walk past, so instead of just staring and pulling my hair out, I'll grab a glass. Cause I keep on boarding up doors I should kick down. Stuck in this corner I stare at my screen. Who in the world's painting my bigger picture? As if it ever mattered to me, to me, to me. Somebody in the line just climb on out. We're in a situation going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm. But I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or the last? The truth is something that we could try to get past. In the long run, everyone gets out of the dark. But I don't wanna dance. Lost in the sand, I thought all the answers here would fall in my lap. The problem with asking is you just don't land where the floor won't bruise. Why do I have to choose? Is becoming a man and evading my past for years a similar act or a natural disaster? Cause I'm still not sure where my faith went loose. To win I have to lose. I keep on boarding up doors I should kick down. down, stuck in this corner. I stare at my screen. Who in the world's painting my bigger picture? As if it ever mattered to me, to me, to me. Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation.
1, 2, 2, 2, 2.
Real life just hit me like a shot in the
I'm gonna fade the music. Fading the music out. Fading the music out. Okay. And we're live. Hello. Welcome to episode 2 or 3 of me breaking down songs that I've made. Whoever is here, welcome. Thank you for being here. Yeah, so I hope everyone's well. I don't want to dance is the topic of discussion today. Let me know if you can hear me okay. I'm going to turn myself up a tiny bit. But yeah, so I don't want to dance. This is a song that you just heard. I will play it again if need be, if you'd like to hear it. But yeah, so I Don't Want to Dance is a song from my first album. And it was, I believe, the second song I released off of Getting By, which is the name of my first album. Yeah, and Getting By was an important project because it was sort of the first instance of me coming into doing music by myself. For many years, I'd been producing with my friends and making music for, with my friends in bands and stuff. So this was a nice change of pace to do something for myself. You can hear me. Thank you. Yes, this is a nice change of pace. And I Don't Want to Dance was a song that took many forms before it ended up on the album. I should have downloaded the demo version, actually. That would have been cool to play. Bit late now. But there was a demo version. The song was pretty much done and it sounded completely different to how it sounds now. So this is going to be interesting to jump into this. I haven't looked at this project for, well, since I made it, to be honest. So it'll be interesting to see how, just sort of how the elements are coming together. It might not sound as crisp and clear as the actual mix that you hear on Spotify, but it might be close. It might be close. I've had to, one thing I noticed at the very last minute was it's actually quite hard to take stems that I've bounced, throw them into Logic and just expect everything to work, because these are, what tends to happen is, for those who aren't music creators here, is that you bounce the audio with all the effects printed onto it. Now, in a session like Headstands, like I was doing the other day, you obviously already have the effects and stuff already in the session, so I can just hit play and it should sound absolutely perfect. Whereas in this case, that is not the case, because it's been bounced and then there's duplicates of the same tracks. So I've gone through and tried to remove as much of the duplicates as possible. So this should sound good. And I highlight the word should, because it might not be as smooth sailing as that. But without further ado, I don't know. Let's jump into this. So, what do we have? This is the session. So, let me unsolo this. Okay. So if I play this in full, hopefully this sounds normal. Let me know if you can hear that okay. And let me know if you can hear me over the top of it okay as well. Obviously, for the sake of talking over it, I want to be heard. I want to be heard. I'm going to turn this down a little bit though.
I thought all the answers here would fall in my lap. The problem with asking is you just don't land where the
Let's go to minus.
Why do I have to choose? It's becoming a man.
There we go. That's not too quiet, I hope. Can hear both. Brilliant. Is the music all right now? Let me know if the music's too quiet or too loud or whatever it is. But this is I Don't Want to Dance. I'm going to let it run.
I keep on boarding up doors I should kick down. Stuck in this corner, I stare at my screen. Who in the world's painting my bigger picture?
is good.
We're in a situation, going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm. But I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or the last? The truth is something
I feel like I could hear myself drinking my drink.
In the long run, everyone gets out of the dark. But I don't wanna dance.
But yeah, that's the premise of I Don't Want to Dance. I'm not going to play it through again because it's been playing for a while. So, I Don't Want to Dance. Let's jump into this. So, a lot of this song, if I remember correctly, I wrote it. I actually wrote it all on piano, and it very much started with. Let's find it. So the original version was a lot different to this, and back in the day where I used to write a lot more electronically like this, I consider this quite an electronic song, considering it was written on a piano and is quite, comes from an organic source. I think it kind of I don't know, it's very MIDI, but this is something that I've learned from being, from doing this for a while. I've kind of gotten better at balancing that, and I think here I was obviously learning to do a lot of things, so all part of the process. So let's try to find what actually. Okay. Now, I'm pretty sure actually. Yeah, so I started the whole song on piano, and jumping back into this, it actually started production-wise. So I wrote the thing on piano, then actually converted that piano information in the form of MIDI chords. That then became pads, which are these that you hear here. So it's just these. Hopefully you can hear that. So it's just these nice pads from a plugin called Diva, which I really love. It's by Yuhi or Yuhi, something like that. Great plugin. And really, this pad, by the looks of it, runs through the entire song. Yeah, right. So, yeah, this probably would have been a preset that I would have picked at the time. And the pads run through the entire song. And, yeah, this chord progression is basically what leads the whole song. And you've got that like that. So, what do we have next? This is a sweep. Oh, that's a transition. Oh, I'm not sure what that is, but it's cool. Right, so let's bring this in. See what I mean about electronic? There's kind of a lot of electronic elements to this. It's kind of got... I'm actually going to turn this up a little bit because I'm struggling to hear it a tad. Yeah, so we've got these. And on top of this, I believe, I ended up recording a... Oh, we got another... Wait. Oh, we got another pad. We got two pads. Okay, yeah. So we've got two pads, by the sounds of it. And this is the thing with having exported stems like this, is obviously I can't see what effects I've got on this. So I have to rely on my ears here. But if I remember right, I read something somewhere about panning pads hard left and right. So what you've got here is the pads are as wide as possible to sort of give a lot of breathing space and air to the rest of the song. Now, I'm probably going to learn a lot through this while I'm going through this that I've, developed along the way, is that nowadays, if I were building out a verse, I would probably save the pads and that wideness. I would save it for the chorus, because then when you get into that chorus, you get a lot more of an impact. That being said, though, this song is littered with big impacts and a lot of percussion, a lot of pianos. So that wasn't really a problem on this song. So I think nowadays, like my technique here, as you can see, this is 77 tracks. Bear in mind, a lot of those are joined together. My process back then probably would have been get as many layers as I could, just to sort of pad out the song. Whereas nowadays I'm a lot more comfortable with, you know, I can have a song that just has a guitar part for the verse, and that will lead that verse fine, because it is because I know how to control the dynamics a lot better now. That being said, that's not me dishing on this song. I think this song works very well for what it is. And yeah, let's carry on breaking it down without me criticising it. So we've got the pulsing thing here. And if I remember right, there's a guitar here. And this guitar may well be... I think that guitar there was a very late addition to this song, because I think I originally had the song so it came straight into the verse. So it came straight into... or it kicked straight in here. Very airy. So yeah, so I originally started the song like that, but I felt it needed an intro. Now, if I remember right, on the demo version that I had, the demo version kicked straight in, and it was in a different key, and it was a lot higher, and the energy was just different on it. So actually, although I say this is more electronic, I think the original demo version was a lot more electronic than this. So once I was trying to figure out the intro, I ended up adding... By this point, I'd obviously poured so many hours into this song that my patience started to wear thin with recording. So I actually ended up just recording this guitar here, this guitar part you're hearing. So this. So that guitar part, I think that is a voice memo from my phone. So I think I actually just recorded it on my phone and threw it straight into the session. So there's that. What have we got next? Oh yes, I can't not talk about my weird chipmunk vocals that I've got here. So what's this here? Tambourine? Oh, we got tambourine. Okay, tambourine comes in here when we're building up. That's cool, we'll bring that in. These are what I want to talk about. These are kind of the bread and butter of this intro. So when I recorded these vocals, to be fair, I was listening to a lot of around the time. So this would have been around 2017 or 2017. I would have been finishing this song off. And I remember at the time I was listening to a lot of Linkin Park's One More Light album, and they had such a wide use of like these pitched up vocals. So this was a very late addition, because I had the intro here, but that wasn't gripping enough to me. Like to start a song like this just didn't really catch your attention enough. I knew the song needed a sort of a bold entrance, but to go straight into the verse felt a bit, because of how much transient information is in the verses. So, you know, like the verse is lost in the sand. Da, 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 da. It's a lot of information in a vocal. You know, it's quite quick. So to start with that was a bit too much, I think. But I still wanted a bold entrance. So in order to get that bold entrance, this ended up being the perfect thing to do. Cutting straight in with this sort of chipmunky voice, because I find that as humans, we're obviously driven to the human voice. So the moment you hear this, whether you like it or not, you're kind of like, oh, that's a voice, and you notice it straight away. It's not something that has to be perfect, but it's there, and it is the lead portion of this section. So straight away you get this. Now these obviously would have been originally when I recorded them. I wonder if I can do this. Let's try it. Might not go well, but let's try it. So I kind of want to sort of show you how they would have sounded before. I think to actually get this vocal section, like, I didn't know what to do. And believe it or not, this one part actually took longer than I realised, because I would have had to have chosen what to do. And I think back then I wouldn't have had the guts to just sort of randomly splurt out some gibberish. I find that my friend Justin, who's a, not that he sings gibberish, but my friend Justin is great at just sort of having the courage to just get in front of the mic and do something and then mess with that vocal. Back then, when I was doing this, I wouldn't have had that same courage. So this was probably very meticulous and calculated. So I probably would have gone through and sort of gone, okay, that's what that can do there. That can do that. And then sort of, I would have recorded this in parts. Oh, and what have I got here? Yeah, so there I would have chopped it up and obviously messed up with it a little bit. I'm going to put this back on. So it kind of sounds... I personally prefer it sounding like that now. But, you know, like I say, I wanted the bold entrance, so this is how we got the bold entrance. Just got to put my phone on charge. Okay, drums. I had the pleasure of working with my good friend Dan Formoso on this song, who helped me with the majority of my first album, to be honest. And he, I used to call him a drum god, because he's just great at mixing drums, and he helped me do exactly that on this. I think that I probably curated a lot of the sounds that were in this song, and Dan's role was very much coming in and being like, Joe, let's change this drum sound to this, or I like what you've got there, but I'm going to accentuate it by doing this. Now that's something that Dan was great at, and he kind of helped me drive the more percussive elements in a lot of these songs, to be honest, because as a singer and as someone who comes from a guitar background, I tend to find that I prioritize melody over percussion, and it's probably a bad habit, but I do it. I still do it. But yeah, Dan came in and made these drums sound amazing, and it's what you hear now. Well, you hear them here. Yeah, so we got those. We got a few claps coming in here. Now you can see that kick is just really punching through, and you can see here. Very to the grid as well. That's what I mean about being MIDI. I think, I don't know, nowadays I would probably have the courage to have a lot more swing to my drums. And to be honest, I'm probably sure Dan probably suggested it at the time. But back then, I was very much new to this, very to the grid, very calculated. Everything was so overthought, which can be dangerous when it comes to making songs, because, you know, you get a bit scared of experimenting, I mean. But yeah, so we've got these drums coming in to the grid, and the vocal enters, everything leaves.
Lost in the sand, I thought all the answers here would fall in my lap. The problem with
And again, to be honest here, we're still with pads, we're still with kicks. Pads, kicks, it's a lot of what's there. I remember actually, whenever I sing this live, I don't do that often anymore, because of how wordy the chorus is on this one. But whenever I play this live, trying to follow pads is a lot harder than I realised. So yeah, if I optimised my music for when I'm gigging, then I probably would have added something percussive or more percussive that I could follow there.
Asking is you just don't land where the floor won't bruise. Why do I have to choose? It's becoming a man and evading my past for years.
So we're starting to build here, and now we're kind of getting more into the organic elements of this song. So we've got guitars. Oh, that's my reverb. Now, these guitars, I really like the tone of these, actually. Now, these probably would have been, at the time, probably would have been mic'd up. I probably would have mic'd up the cab of my... I think I've got a Fender Mustang down here. I would have mic'd up the cab on that with a 57, I believe. An SM57 microphone. And, yeah, I just would have... What's this? So I'm just monitoring the chat while I do this. Yeah, so I probably would have mic'd up the cab of the amp. And really, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have done much more mixing-wise on there. I probably would have just, you know, slapped a bit of compression on it, a bit of EQ, and that's it. Because it sounds like the reverb is in the tone of the vocal of the guitar. So, yeah. That's pretty. It's almost got like a... What I like about that is it's kind of got like this this paddy... You know, the song's already full of pads. It probably didn't need more, but it almost sounds like there's a pad behind it, which is nice. Let's get to my favourite part. Here we go. Here they are. So, these, which I don't do often, but these are live pianos. Now, I originally had MIDI pianos doing these parts here, and I'm not a piano player by any means, but I'm happy that I played all these pianos. Probably didn't mic them with anything amazing. I worked at a school at the time when I recorded this song, and I one day stayed late after work because there was a piano room there. I say piano room, there was a practice room there, and in the practice room I went to the I went into the practice room and they had a few audio interfaces lying around. Again, like I was so in a rush and so at the end of the process of finishing this song that these would have been a really late addition. And I went in, I recorded the pianos, and yeah, I would have done it on probably some really cheap interface, some really cheap mics. But I think, considering that, I think they sound all right. They don't sound bad. And this is something that, you know, as I mean, samples are great nowadays. Like, you can get great samples, but when you get a real piano sound, I tend to find that you just can't replicate that attack. And you can't replicate the percussiveness of that piano. And that's why on it, I mean, and the fact that I'm not a great piano player, the attack on these pianos is so accentuated because I really wanted, we already had this strong vocal come in, you know, the vocal's really compressed. We've had that chipmunk vocal at the start. We've stripped down all the instrumental by the time we're in verse 1. So how do you build that, the pre-chorus, and sort of keep the attack going? And for me, luckily, I'd obviously dropped out a lot of elements by this point, but for me to add in that percussive element of the pianos was really important, because I remember the pianos, the MIDI pianos, no matter what I did to them, I just couldn't get the attack I needed. So doing this, so I mean, you just don't get the same out of a MIDI piano, no matter how much you have the, you could have your velocity up as high as possible, and you're still not going to get that genuine attack that you get from those live pianos. So that's what we have here. So the live pianos come in, and they actually come in here in the verse, not even in the pre-chorus. Welcome whoever's just joined. Happy to have you here. We're breaking down I Don't Want to Dance at the moment, which is a song of mine off of my first album. So, oh, here's more pianos as well. So, looks like I probably layered them up. Yeah, so, again, more proof that I recorded these in parts. I probably could have had these all on one. But see what I mean? I'm really hammering those keys because that I wanted the chorus to just be like this big explosion. So when you get to the chorus, and I think I even added an explosion in, it's probably there somewhere. It's like my favorite trick to do when it comes to anything. Chorus entries are just better with explosions. Let's just say that. Let's hide that track. I don't need that. So we're going along.
As if it ever mattered to me.
And I think what have we got here going back? Oh yeah, these are cool. So again, the MIDI-ness and the electronicness is coming out now. Just sort of to support the melody. What's this here? Oh yeah, that's a weird sample I added in as well. So pre-chorus, we're coming in. I keep on boarding somewhere. It's coming in. There we go. So it's just following the main melody. Underneath all this, we've got this subby bass. And it all drops out. And then we have an explosion.
Somebody to me, somebody in the...
Have I got an explosion in here? I thought I would. Doesn't seem I do though. Oh well, regardless, let's break this down. So, we get to the chorus.
To me.
So we actually drop down to, because obviously the verses are building quite a bit, and in order to get into that chorus efficiently, I did the old trick of dropping things out before we get in, and had a crash. Explosion, there we go. There's the explosion. Let's get these. Oh, I actually did keep the MIDI key. I think these are the MIDI keys. Yeah. So see what I mean? You don't get, and I think these have probably got a really high velocity on them, but you're just not getting the attack of the main pianos, which are obviously down here. So I mean, they're nice as a counter melody, but in order to get that attack, you really needed to have a live piano, which was nice. I was lucky to be able to do that. What we got here? Okay. Bass, pads, pianos. We got the kick. I wonder whether the kick should have been on its own. The kick probably would have been in the drum bus somewhere. So I've actually probably got too much kick right now. Let's bring the drums in anyway. There we go. Okay, so this is a lot of the foundation of what this chorus is. When I built this chorus for the first time, this is actually something that has been present in every version of this song, is this drum loop, because I kind of wanted it to have, you know, it's very to the grid, but it's kind of got this swing to it. It's kind of got this push and pull to it, which is nice because it kind of goes with the meaning of the song, which is kind of about being hesitant, not wanting to conform. So yeah, we have the drums, and again we have Dan's drum mixing wizardry here at play. We have, yeah, just lots of synths, lots of, what's this? Electric guitars. Yeah, there we go. Oh, that didn't sound pretty. Let's find that. Let's find where that is. What's happening? And again, it's the beauty of music is the imperfections, but yeah, definitely some out of tune guitars. Nice. And again, gives it character. I don't regret any of it. But yeah, so I think back then I mean, I do it to this day as well. Layering electric guitars is just fun. So, you know, they can often be found as the backbone of most of my choruses because they kind of just provide this bed of grit to them. What's this one? Oh. These are cool. Kind of like an organ type thing. What else we got? Bass. Bass guitar. So we've obviously got the bass, and we've also got sub coming in here as well, which is cool, which is obviously makes this chorus feel nice and big. Yeah, nice. What's this? More pads, or synths even. So we've got more synths going on here. And what we got here?
The truth is something that we could try to.
Lots of vocal layering here.
In the long run, everyone gets out of the dark, but I don't wanna dance.
Nice. So yeah, so we got the vocals. Vocals are all in one bus because obviously these are bounced in groups. So here are the vocals, which sound like this.
Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm, but I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for?
So yeah, a lot of layers going on there. I think, if I remember correctly, hook reverb. I don't think I've got it here. I think it's all in this actual group here. Now, what I tend to do with vocals is that they've kind of got this chorusy effect on them. And I was a big fan of that on Getting By because at the time I think I was a bit less confident with my vocals, so I kind of had like this vintage approach to them that I just wanted to slap as many vocal effects as I could on them. And with this, it was interesting because I wanted to kind of get the dynamic range of the vocals still, which you're obviously hearing here.
Somebody in the line, just climb on up.
So you're getting the dynamic range of the vocal, but at the same time, you want to have the punchiness and you want it to be big and clear. So what I tend to do, or back then, was I would record the main vocal, then I would record a group of low vocals, just doing the lower octave. I actually used a harmony engine for a lot of the harmonies on this album. So going through this album, a lot of the harmonies are actually wrong because they're just auto-generated most of the time. But they do add this certain flavour that I call the Getting By sound that is just sort of very, very close-knit vocal production because it's all sort of, it's treated like a lead vocal, but it's actually a group of vocals. And what I would have done is I would have added a chorus effect on it, and some other modulation effects. But then what I would have done is sent it to a bus. So I wouldn't have compressed that too much. I then would have sent it to a bus that would have widened those vocals to obviously give that width in the chorus. But at the same time, would also retain the dynamic range whilst also giving it that punchiness. So because you've got the group behind it, the group are kind of giving it that, you know, fluency and that constant sound, but the vocal that's actually leading this group has some dynamic range and some movement to it, as you can hear.
Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm.
We go through.
I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or dark?
We skip to the end of the chorus.
I don't wanna dance.
If I remember right,
In a whole different town, my only
I remember I remember I used to speak with Dan quite a lot during the making of my album because he obviously had a big part to play in it. But I remember when I had the original version of I Don't Want to Dance, we kind of decided that it was going to be, we sort of said it was going to be the big single and it was going to be, you know, the one that leads this album. And I think I kind of went with that with this when I eventually released it. But when we did this version, we both agreed that it was definitely a lot more, it sounded more like it fit in the album. So we kind of sacrificed that that catchiness and that big single sound to have it be more just like another brick in the house that is getting by. And I am glad we did that, because sonically, the older version, which why it stayed as a demo, the older version was a lot more upbeat and it was a lot more poppy and it sounded a lot happier. Whereas Getting By, I consider my my moody indie pop album. So to have a song that's this big statement like this, to have it almost still have that big statement, but almost be in the background still, that felt like an important step with this song. So in terms of the actual production, it's a lot more interesting, but it's also a lot more dense, which is what makes it interesting and makes it fit on the album a lot better, in my opinion. So when we get into verse 2, let me go back to Logic. When we get into verse 2, we actually have a lot of the same thing going on. We're obviously coming in with a 4 to the floor now, so we're going kick, 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 kick. And the guitars are coming in. So we have the guitars coming in and giving us a bit more rhythm as well, which is good. That's nice. We like the rhythm. What else do we have? What do we have here? Chuggy guitars. Do I do 2 layers of these? Yeah, seems like I might have. I've double tracked them. Oh, and they stop here for some reason. I thought they would have gone through the whole verse. So we've got the kick. Kick's happening. Chuggy guitars are happening. So what happens to these guitars? So when I said that I was inspired by Linkin Park earlier, this is where I'm hearing it a lot actually in the production, is that, let me just mute the vocals for a moment, is that, oh, where's my reverb? I'll mute that as well. Yeah, so what you're hearing here, see here there's a build and this synth. That's kind of, for me, that was when I was listening to Linkin Park's One More Light album, there was a lot of synth moments like that that act as these transitions, and that was something I wanted to get, you know, I mean, it was perfect for a song this dense, and, you know, considering the pad is what leads a lot of the verses, it's nice to sort of break that up with sounds like this. Which is this. I think I was really proud of myself when I did this sound. And it would have been a few synths layered by the looks of it. So we got another one here and another one here. And another one here. And then it comes in with the, oh, guitar slide. What's this? Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. I didn't realise that was there. I like that. So it sounds like, just sounds like a guitar with a pitch pedal on it to pitch it down, and they're in a group by the sounds of it as well. So we have the transition here. So these, I remember what I did here actually. Again, I think this might have been a theme with this song, or maybe with the album in general, is that when I got to the end of the production, I got to a point where my cares went out the window a little bit. And I definitely have retained that now, and I think that I'm a better producer now for it. Maybe this was like the moment that made me grow as a producer. But I remember getting to a point where I was like, oh, I need to record the pianos as quickly as possible, and it doesn't matter whether they're recorded good or not. I just need these pianos in there. And then I would just record. I would just get a mic out and record. And I think that if there's something I've learned as a producer, is that having that mentality is actually productive in a lot of ways, because it kills procrastination like immediately when you're just like, right, I need to do this. And the reason I say this is because on this particular section here, these harmonies you're hearing. Now you'll notice they sound a little bit weird. So that would have been a I would have just taken a copy of the lead vocal and just pitched it up, and then just maybe stuck a delay on it, because if you have vocals that you're trying to if you're trying to duplicate a vocal and make it act as if it's a different vocal, you need to make sure that you add a delay to it, even if it's just a few milliseconds, just to sort of push the transients away from the original source information. So if you had the lead vocal and this copy going at the same time, you would probably find that it sounds very it sounds like the same vocal just pitched up. And now it does sound weird and pitched up, which I can hear, but it sounds like a different vocal still that's been pitched up. It also sounds a bit out of time, but maybe that's why. Maybe I was too generous with the the delay that I was putting on it. On top of that, though, we also have these guitars. Kind of like the way I chop these up here. You can hear it in this moment here. Now, to actually play that would be quite hard. So this is probably, like a lot of this, is probably made up of loads of different takes. And what I would have done is chopped it and copied and pasted them next to each other like so. Because here, so you hear it there. You can kind of hear how the transient cuts it off, which is nice. It kind of adds this nice, it's something else for the ears. I think that with production in general, that is it's my own rule of thumb, is that I always want you to be hearing at least something different, just to keep something moving. So, like I said, most of the verse on this song has been comprised of pads and drums and vocals. So to bring in these little synth moments and these little guitar moments is important, because it's obviously keeping the movement going. Now, from my own critique, and I know that I do this, let's just move on and I'll tell you. So we have this new stuff coming in. We also have this ARP here, actually, which is really cool. This thing, I love this. So it's panning from left to right. You can probably hear that if you've got headphones on. If you're watching this in headphones, you're hearing this going from left to right to left to right. So that happens. And then we get back into the pre-chorus. This time we get the kicks and the snares coming in. We get the rhythms building. And it stops. Now, not to obviously put myself in it here, but I know for a fact that I tend to, on this particular album, I remember just copy and pasting a lot of choruses, and I don't think nowadays, I don't think that's good practice. Not for me anyway. Like, it's not my, there are definitely songs where that works. Going back, if I were to do this song again, I think that I would have reduced the amount of stuff happening in the chorus, because there's a lot of layers going on here, and like I said earlier, it's kind of down to my own I guess, at the time I was learning, but having lots of layers is good and bad, because stripping back layers can be just as powerful as adding a lot of them. But when you get to, and I think I mentioned this on headstands actually, when you get to a point where your chorus is up here and you want to get bigger, but there's not an option, the difference, and I guess the growth that I'm appreciating here, is that on headstands I had the courage to take things in and out, to kind of, and swap and change things to sort of keep the momentum going. Whereas here, I can, if I remember right, And at the time, I probably didn't see it as an issue. And it's not an issue because it sounds good. But at the time, I would have gotten to a point where this chorus is so big that I would have gone, I don't know how to add more to this. Therefore, I'm not going to. It's as big as it's going to get. And I can copy and paste that. And that is my big moment. I guess that what makes up for it here is that I'm doing that building in the verses instead. So, you know, it kind of makes up for the fact that the chorus is copy and paste for each chorus. But I think if I were to do it again, I would probably, you know, just change something, even if it's just the vocal delivery or just dropping things in and out or just something like that, just to sort of keep the choruses interesting. Because once you've heard one of these choruses, you have heard all of them. Not a bad thing, though, but just an analysis that I've made.
Everyone gets out of the dark, but I don't wanna dance.
Now, this was cool.
Sometimes
This might be my favourite moment on this song, is that it's the moment where it feels a little bit more unhinged. It kind of feels like it's a dramatic song anyway. It feels dramatic to me. It's like this big statement, like, I don't want to dance. But it's almost like in this moment, it's kind of like, instead of giving subliminal messages, which is what I tend to do a lot in, especially on Getting By, I sort of say something, but I mean something else. I think that on I Don't Want to Dance, in the middle, this is that moment where, like, all the cards are on the table and it's kind of, it's as honest as it's going to be. And I think this is very literal, this part, for the most part. And obviously the fact that I'm dragging everything out instrumentally is kind of that way of saying, like, you know, listen to me. Like, this is the moment that you need, if you haven't focused on the vocals elsewhere because you've been focused on the production, like, this is the moment where the vocal becomes the focus. And I think that that's something I definitely do more nowadays. And back then I would have strayed away from doing something like this because, for a number of reasons. For, you know, it's a bold thing to do on one hand, but on the other hand, that I didn't actually have this big confidence in my vocals at the time. So again, that's why you hear it drops down to these vocals, but they've got delay all over them, and they've got pitch correction, or most vocals of mine have pitch correction, but they have like these low vocals underneath them.
this room wouldn't grab my arm when I don't wanna dance.
But it's really nice. I think it really adds to this moment as well. And again, when we're building it back up, so sorry, we get to this part.
Grab my arm when I don't wanna dance.
Oh yeah, my cajons. So I've got a cajon that's behind me somewhere. Down there. I now have bongos as well. So I'm upgrading in the percussion department. One time I didn't care about percussion and drums. Now I'm a glorified bongo player. But yeah. And yeah, it's just me playing the cajon going. It's just me doing that on the cajons. I think if I remember right, back then I used to do that on the table a lot as well, where I've got this mic. I think maybe I do it nowadays. Now I've got this mic here that I can just sort of swivel up and down at my leisure. I kind of point it down at the desk sometimes and just slap on the desk just to get, you know, if there's a sound in my head and I don't know what, if I know the rhythm of it and I don't know the sounds that I want, it's important for me to capture that as quick as I can. So I'll just hit something as soon as I can just to kind of get that going. So the guitars come in. So again, we're building, but not too much because we're about to drop back down again. And this is nice because it's actually guitars leading this part. I think whenever I play this live, I feel like people like this moment. This is the moment where it's like, whoa, he's screaming. He's passionate about this. He really doesn't want to dance. Don't make him dance. And I don't dance. But here are some of the things that... So these are some of the things that sit behind this moment. And the pads are still here. We have the kicks, and looks like the pianos are going to come back. Yeah. And then we get back into the chorus. So we have this moment.
Corner, I stare at my screen. Who in the world's painting my bigger picture? As if it ever mattered to me, to me, to me.
And that's cool actually as well. So I see, is that what I think it is there?
As if it ever mattered to me, to me, to me.
Yeah, so that's what's nice about this, is that we're obviously building and building and building. Vocals are kind of in this delay and stuff. We've got delays, we got pitch stuff. And this is kind of as bare as this song gets here. You've kind of got nothing going on. Apart from some pads. And we're back in.
Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm.
And again, the chorus here is the same. So
I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or the last? The truth is something that we could try to get past. In the long run, everyone gets out of the dark. But I don't wanna dance.
and there we go. I don't want to dance. But yeah, it's a nice song. It's, to be honest, like, being transparent here, it's not my favourite on this album. I appreciate it though, because it had a long journey, like a lot of my songs. You know, and I think that these, when you live with these songs for as long as I do sometimes, let's go to Big Me. When you live with these songs as long as I do, whoa, why am I not in focus? Whoa. Why? Okay, we're staying not in focus apparently. Hello. Ah, there we go. Right. Yeah, so as I was saying, when you live with these songs for such a long time, like, despite whatever grievance you have with them, or whatever you know, whatever bone you have to pick with them, I think that you forgive it when you realize that you've sort of grown with these songs. And for me, when I made Getting By, it was such a special album to me, and it still is to this day. Like, I think it's one that I will always cherish, because I'd just moved out of my home and I'd just started a new job, and kind of the music was all I had to sort of keep me going. You know, I obviously had friends and stuff, but the music was there with me, and I worked on these songs solid from between 2016 to 2018 when the album came out. And to bring that all into one place with me, it's kind of like a light at the end of the tunnel, where you get your songs through it, and then you're kind of like, wow, we made it. You know, like, yes, you now belong to the public and people can listen to this now, but for me, I'm going to go and move on and make what will become, you know, maybe the better version of I Don't Want to Dance one day, but it will never be the actual version of I Don't Want to Dance, which is, you know, the what is my stream about? Hello, welcome. My stream is about me breaking down my songs. So I'm kind of going through my discography one song at a time, and I'm just breaking down what goes into making these songs. This is kind of a stream for people who are interested in music making. And even if you're not, even if you're just curious as to how songs are made and how they come about, this is how they come about. We sort of break them down like this. Yeah, thank you for asking that question. Let me know if you have any more questions. But yeah, so what was I saying? Yeah, so I kind of have this appreciation for this song because it has... You love my voice. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. My talking voice or my singing voice? Hopefully my singing voice, but I don't mind if you like my talking voice too. But yeah, so I guess, yeah, this song's about, well, the stream is about just my songs, my journey, and I'm kind of, oh, you haven't heard me sing yet. Do you want me to play the song back? I feel like you've jumped in where I'm kind of at the end of this is kind of the end of the stream, but I'll play the song back if you want to hear it. You want me to play the song back? Let me know. Awesome. Well, I'll play the song back for your sake. And yeah, thank you for being here. But here, let me jump back to Logic for a moment. So this is just to recap, like we are at the end of my stream kind of, but this is kind of what this is what we're going to be doing on my streams, is we're going to be going through my songs. So all the songs are made up of all these different layers here, and one by one, at the time of making this song, I would have added these layers one by one, and that would have made the song. So this is what this song sounds like. I'm actually just going to solo the. I'll just play this one here. So this is actually the bounce of the finished song, and everything you see below here is what makes up this file. So all of these files down here make up this together when you sum them together. Very colourful. So if I do this here. Oh, it's not playing. Oh, because I've got it on 0. My bad. Here, so here is the... Tell you what, let me just mute this and you can hear it. Yeah, so this is the song. This is called I Don't Want to Dance. Oh, my reverb's gone. I should be here.
The problem with asking is you just don't land where the floor won't bruise. Why do I have to choose? It's becoming a man and evading my past for years, a similar act or a natural disaster, 'cause I'm still not.
So this, just to clarify as well, sorry, I know, yeah, lyrics are by me. This is a song that this came out in 2018, and this is a song that was on my first album, Getting By. I wrote all the lyrics, I made all the music. Yeah, so this is what a song looks like when it's in the making phase.
Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation going south. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm. But I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time?
And on these streams, what I've been doing so far is I've only done a few of them, but what I have been doing is going through and breaking down these songs. So what you're hearing now is a sum of everything, but for example, I can just solo the vocals and you can just hear the vocals if I can find them. So the vocals are here, for example.
Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation going south.
So essentially, like that is like the foundation of making a song, is just getting all of these layers and making them sit well together. And then this is what it looks like. So you put it all in this one session here together in Logic, and that's what makes up a song. I'll carry on playing it for you.
That we could try to get past in the long run. Everyone gets out of the dark, but I don't wanna dance. In a whole different town, my only relationship's the one with the sound of my thoughts, and they're racing in a search for clues. So what's in store if I find them after all? Down for the count, but not the equation. I'm in the ocean of doubt.
Let me know if you can hear that thing. If you're in headphones, you should hear something going from left to right here. And to confirm, it's this. Where is it? This guy here. So oh, thank you so much. That's really kind of you. Yeah. Why isn't it on the radio? That's yeah. So you can hear it, right? So you can hear the back and forth here, which is cool. So you've got this going from left to right to left to right. But yeah, I appreciate your comments. Thank you. To answer them, why am I not on the radio? I'm not sure. Although I have been played on smaller radio stations here in the UK. I'm from the UK, if you couldn't tell. And but yeah, so this, I guess, this stream is just a big journey of me. You know, I've been making music for a long time. I've been making it for about 10 plus years. And I had the pleasure of working with Mike Shinoda from Linkin Park last year on a song of mine, which is actually what drove me to do this stream. So if you know the band Linkin Park, Mike Shinoda was running a stream much similar to what I'm doing now, to where he would make songs on the on the internet. He would make songs over Twitch like this, and listeners would pitch in. And eventually it got to a point where he actually started producing songs by up and coming artists. One of them being me, which I was so grateful to be a part of. And I just submitted a song and he ended up producing it on Twitch. And the VOD of that is on his channel as well. So you can find that on somewhere on Twitch. If you search official Mike Shinoda, you'll probably find it. But yeah, on that stream, he produced my song called Strong, and that is out in the world now as well. So you can find that I'm on Spotify and stuff if you have Spotify and want to hear more of this, or just come back to my Twitch stream if you want to see more of this. I'm trying to do this weekly. As you can tell, I'm new to this, but I want to do it sort of on a weekly basis. And just, yeah, we're going to make some songs on the stream as well. So you can be a part of that if you want to. If you join the chat, and you can, much like we're chatting now, if you decide that you do want to, you want to contribute to any of the songs that I'm making, throw some suggestions in the chat and then I'll do it. This one is obviously an existing song. This is already made. So I'm just sort of breaking down the production of this song. But yeah, in future, I hope to, and I mean, I did it on last week's stream. I was sort of working on a song that I'd already made. But we will make more songs on this stream, and I'll break down ones that I have made as well. Yeah. So do you want me to carry on playing the song, or because there's more to it if you want? Amazing. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, no one's ever told me that, but that's great. That's great to know. I'd like to be a boy band. If I've got the power of a boy band, maybe there's hope for me yet.
I should kick down, stuck in this corner. I stare at my screen. Who in the world's painting my bigger picture? As if it ever mattered to me, to me, to me. Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation, no, it's tough. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm. But I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or the last? The truth is something that we could try to get past. In the long run, everyone gets out of the dark. But I don't wanna dance. Sometimes I wish that I was see-through, so everyone in this room wouldn't grab my arm when I don't wanna dance. Sometimes I can't find the words when you walk past, so instead of just staring and pulling my hair out, I'll grab a glass. 'Cause I keep on boarding up doors.
Oliver Tree. Interesting. I don't think I've heard of Oliver Tree. I'm definitely going to check him out though. Mellow version. Nice.
Somebody in the line, just climb on out. We're in a situation, going tough. Real life just hit me like a shot in the arm. But I don't wanna dance. Are we meeting for the first time or the last? The truth is something that we could try to
There we go. But yeah, so that's I Don't Want to Dance. Can I react to his song Hurt? I will try and get it on here. Yeah, let's have a look. I need to head off in a moment, but I will try and do that. See if I can. I need to see if I can actually get that audio into here somehow. Because if I do that, it's going to feed back. Where is it? Oh no. We might struggle. But let me try something. Hold on. Just because of the way I've got my stream set up, it's not, I can't just play music and have it on in the background. But I can have a listen to it, and you can watch me react but not hear the song if that's of interest. I mean, I'm genuinely intrigued to hear this guy, Oliver Tree, so I will do that. So let's find some Oliver Tree. Where's my OBS gone? Let's find some Oliver Tree. Oliver Tree. Oh, amazing. Thank you. And what's interesting is that this song here that you're hearing now is actually quite an old song. So this one is I mean, I like to think I've gotten better. I've got new stuff. If you want to hear up-to-date stuff, like, feel free to go and find me wherever. I'm on everything. But I got a new song called Headstands, which is quite cool. Oliver Tree. Let's have a listen. Hurt. I'm listening to it now. I like his fashion sense. It's very cool. I see what you mean about the similarities here. I think it's definitely down to the the vocal layering that he's got going on. I like it though. I kind of get like 21 Pilots vibes from it. Like I'm a big fan of 21 Pilots myself, so yeah, this is cool. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this is cool. Yeah, that's cool. I'm definitely going to give him more. I'm going to save this album. This seems cool. So what is this album? Ugly is Beautiful? Ugly is Beautiful. Yeah, let's do this. Ugly is Beautiful is now saved to my saves to my albums that I'm going to listen to. Thank you for the suggestion, and thank you for kindly saying I sound like him, because it's always a compliment when I'm compared to musicians who have millions of followers and listeners, which is nice. Hopefully one day that's me. Hopefully, but yeah, thank you for joining me on the stream. I appreciate it, and thank you to everyone else who's here as well. If you want to see more of this, then I don't know what you do on Twitch, but follow me or like my channel or follow me or subscribe or whatever they say to do. Yeah, because we'll be doing more of these. I'm probably going to do it it's either every Tuesday, every Tuesday or Thursday, or every Tuesday and Thursday. So it should be fun. There's going to be a lot of this, a lot of song breaking down, a lot of, I mean, I'll react to things if that's I can be the positive version of him. I like the sound of that. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But yeah, so on the stream, there's going to be a lot more of song breakdowns. There's going to be a lot more of me reacting to things, most likely my own songs, but you know, I can react to more. And yeah, most importantly, we're going to make music, which is what this is all about. So you follow me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for the follow. But yeah, welcome aboard. And hopefully this continues to grow and hopefully you enjoy what you hear. So thank you so much. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. If I can figure out how to end this thing. Thank you very much. Take care.